Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. I'm glad to share with you what I know about my language and exploration. So I don't know, I don't have the ultimate truth or whatever. It's exploration. So last time we talked about 手动点赞. It's a Chinese translation or uses existing vocabulary to describe a new contemporary living phenomenon, which is to click like on social media. That's what we call 点赞, and we add this manually. I mean, of course, it's manually, unless I don't know, unless you can verbalize it or you can use your mind to click like. I don't know, right? It could be technology involved that you don't need the hand to click like anymore. But over here, it's kind of a duplication because currently we still use hand. We have to use the mouse to click like, right? That's the end, and then we have to use the hand to do that. Okay, so today we continue with 赞 in 赞不绝口. 赞不绝口 simply means there's so much praise, so much sweet talking and ass kissing maybe, and then it's not going to stop from your mouth. So it's non-stop talking about something, right? Praising somebody. 赞 again, we have this ancient seashell currency symbol over there. This is the ancient dollar sign. I guess I'm not sure how universal that is, but at least in Chinese, whenever we see this money symbol, this is the seashell symbol that we're seeing. Then the top portion is a twins, a pair of human figure. On top of the head grows the plant. That's the kind of a zombie in Last of Us image coming to mind. But also, there could be in a point in history when somebody copying letters, they copy it wrong. There was a similar character that's a three-toe foot symbol, just like a three-finger hand symbol. We have a three-toe foot symbol that looks very similar to this one, that has this part kind of connected instead of open, like in a separate stroke from the bottom horizontal line. So the horizontal line with this trident looking thing is the plant symbol, but the food symbol have the horizontal line, but it's kind of the arch or the sole of the foot. And then it kind of curve up, go directly to the big toe, and then the second toe, and then the third toe. So it looks kind of similar to the plant symbol. So somebody over the history mix it up. It could be, is one possibility, and then place it on top of somebody's head. I mean, either it's a plant or food. It seems like a ridiculous. Why on top of somebody, a person symbol that looks like this, on top of that has a plant or a food, right? So the food symbol can be interpreted because spatially, we're using this 2D frame to depict our 3D world living experience, right? So to do that, there are some commonly rules and ways to abstract. Throughout the language, we can see that. Like this is simplification, right? Three-finger hand symbol. Instead of drawing out 05, we just use 3. It's enough to express it looks like a hand, right? And another rule is from the bottom of the frame, so the lower of the frame is closer to you spatially. And then the further away from you is move upper frame. So it's just like the Western painting, right? The background, the background is receding further from you. That's drawn on the top of the frame in the 2D space of a painting. Right? And the foreground that's as closer to the viewer is at the bottom of the frame. That's in similar way, Chinese do that too. So when we see this human figure at the bottom, it doesn't mean vertically the plant or somebody else's foot is stepping on top of the head. It means spatially, horizontally, that we cannot show it on the 2D frame going vertically in front of us, right? We can only imagine, okay, that's a further away, that's the background instead of the foreground. So the person is the foreground, closer to the bottom of the frame, that's closer to the viewer of the language. And then the plant or the food symbol is actually further away in space. It's not like overstacking, it's like more like in this sense. So if the language viewer is here, this is the person symbol. And instead of having the plant or the food symbol on top, like vertically stacking up as if showing on the screen, it actually means further away from the viewer of this language. I hope I made that clear. So this symbol, I mean, apparently it cannot be the stack up version. It got to be further away version, right? I think the food symbol is a possibility because that means it's more explainable, right? That means that somebody is following the footsteps of somebody else. So there is a foregoer, and then somebody is following. So this following, and there are two of them. We use two to mean pair, means multiple. It doesn't necessarily mean just two of them. It means multiple of them are doing the same thing. So people are marching forward, following somebody's footsteps. And then we have this currency in there. So my interpretation of the whole thing is the ancient trade practice of, because ancient times, we don't really have a lot of traveling. Most people live around a very narrow space, geographical space. They are mostly bound by the land, right? They work on the farmland. That's their production, consumption, everything all together. Lifetime spent in a small space. And then ancient times, people who do travel, they are most likely the merchants that takes extra time, travel through space, do the trade, and they probably take a lot of risk and suffering of their personal life as well, right? Away from hometown, away from family. So this travel merchants may do this following traders' route, probably they have a route, and then use currency to do trade. And this essentially, actually, I feel like this is more depicting the trade route of people, one generation after another generations of traders using currency to do this goods exchange. And eventually this character was extended into the meaning of zan, means praise, to sing praise of someone, meaning ancient times to build such a trade route or to actually make a business partner from another clan, another village, or even further away. You have to show the goodwill, right? To build your goodwill, you have to use a currency, use money to do this exchange, to so to speak, to buy, to a little bit of bribe, maybe. It depends on the social structure back then, but you have to get your foot into the door, so to speak, to establish such a relationship. So such relationship or goodwill building becomes, what's depicted in this frame. And I guess eventually in contemporary living, we don't really need to buy my goodwill. We don't have to pay for it. We show support, goodwill a lot of times verbally. That's why this zan in contemporary Chinese context, it means praise. It's verbal goodwill building instead of using currency goodwill building for trade purpose. Okay, so the other ones are relatively simple. So bu is a negation. It's a legend has it as a bird keeps flying toward the sky. The top horizontal line is the sky, refusing to go back down to earth. And that forms the negation to earth, but a yes to the sky, right? So negation to things are always back and forth. You depends on, are you on the ground or are you on the heaven? In the sky, to look at the same behavior, it's two different conclusions. So we're on the ground, so to us, it's a no. 绝, we have this, you see similar, but in here, it means fabric making fabric symbol, because this is kind of a drapey. Drapey can also be a bird, so it's up for interpretation. Here is something drapey, kind of like a piece of fabric, and then they're not connected, string, not connected. So all that is depicting something related to fabric. And then we have the right side, that's our symbol for knife. So it's, I guess ancient times, we don't really have scissors. Scissors is kind of contemporary invention, right? Because I think the mechanism on scissors is pretty amazing. So I doubt it came out earlier. So this knife cutting was used as this thread cutting device. You have to click it, cut it, the long string of thread. So then the bottom here is a person, like a hunching over. So this is a little bit abstraction of the side view person. This is an abstraction of actually the foot. So this is a person sitting on the heels. This is the knee bending. So this is a kind of a kneeling over and facing the thread, actually. So I would imagine this is a person, most likely a woman, because women work in textile back then, to cut the thread. And it's kind of a long time sitting over something they are working on. And then, so using the two, this is a person who does it, and this is the object to be done to, which is to cut it in half, or cut it, separate it. So this cut originally came from this long thread of fabric cut into two pieces. Okay, 口, simply box with up tilted corner, because box sometimes can mean different things. Can mean the sun when it's changed from the oval shape to a boxy shape, or it could mean a space. Sometimes it means a stone if it's placed next to a cliff. So it depends on the context. But with up tilted corner, it's like unmistakably, this is a human mouth. And the mouth is a function of speaking, right? Most of the time it's speaking and also eating. It's also intake, outtake, output, input. And this, in this context, if this is praise, so praise is verbalized, the praise of somebody, right? So it's output. So it's a singing praise to somebody, right? And the 绝口 is like, it's not stoppable. It's like a continuation. It's a long thread coming out of the mouth, and you're not going to stop at praising. So this is nonstop praising. I'm not sure in English has one character, one word that means nonstop praising. It's some heavy dose of praising. That's 赞不绝口. I simply put abstract, a little bit abstract about photography of Chinese village, of a special, roof and a color scheme, white walls and a black roof. So it's a type of local architecture of a village with this, gloriously red leaves tree next to it. So it's kind of a peaceful village life depiction of here in the mist, probably in the morning. And with that, probably to some, people who appreciate the painting would do this nonstop praising. So I'm just going to give you an example of how 赞不绝口 can be used as a piece of photography or a lifestyle, a reminiscence of a, bygone era of people peacefully living in an idyllic life. And that could, encourage contemporaries to 赞不绝口 over that. Okay, cashing into the concept of thinking about what today. See you another day.